show.
We have such sights to show you.
Welcome back to the Double Movie View It, a horror podcast. I'm Jesse Spitzer.
And I'm J.R. Lees.
And finally, the time has finally come to talk about the newest installment of the Evil Dead Burn. What a movie.
Long awaited. We have not discussed this at all. The rest of the series, we knew kind of going in which other thought. And again, to run the risk of having an argument here, I dug the hell out of this movie.
Yeah, I also love. I think this one, out of the three new ones, I think is probably the best one.
Okay. High praise.
I don't think it's my favorite one, though. I think Rise is still my favorite. But I think this one is just, when it comes to the themes and the delivery and like the camera work and the sound mixing, everything, it's just a very solid movie. I think Rise is a little more loosey-goosey and silly and more fun, which is why I like it more. But oh my God, this movie has stuck with me. I watched it actually about 24 hours ago. I walked out of the theater. So, and yeah, I was able to go in completely blind. I didn't even watch the trailer. I didn't know.
Oh, okay. I tried avoiding the trailers and it didn't work. They kept, you know.
Yeah. I think I saw one frame of like the lady chugging a candle. That was like the one thing that I saw going into it. But yeah, what a movie. I really, really was into it. I'm glad that Evil Dead can like continue to have legs. You know, it can continue to deliver, even though if you're going into this expecting anything outside of an Evil Dead movie, you shouldn't. I mean, it delivers exactly what you expect it's going to happen. Not a whole lot of surprises when it comes to the formula. It does do some interesting things that we'll get into, but yeah, what was your initial takeaway when you?
I was at the point going into it that I'm a fan, obviously the whole series, and I was going back and forth between, is this going to be 2013 or Rise? And I'm coming around to your side saying I think Rise is my favorite, and I absolutely adore 2013. It's one of those ones that I talk about to the point of like, well, if you don't like horror movies, you should try this because it's got everything. And then Rise is like, I just love it being in the building, not in the cabin. So in this one going into it, I was kind of like, okay, well, how am I is it gonna divide me? Because I've heard people, and I shouldn't listen to people talk about it. So I went in completely fresh with no opinion about it, and it just won me over immediately because it had it goes to the end, it goes to the beginning, it picks up where Rise left off, but not left off. Does that make any sense? Because it doesn't go to the last minute of Rise. It actually goes to like this weird sort of like it's part of Rise. Yeah. So I love the idea they're on. I mean, this isn't a spoiler. It's on like the same lake that Evil Dead Rise begin and ends on. I'm like, oh, this is so cool, and the level of ferocity, which is what the Raimi ones were, but just like in your face kind of stuff. So I was digging it, and then it kind of stops, and it goes to the family, and I'm like, oh. And I was so happy that when it goes to the family, you got couples and a birthday, and they're kind of being bickery, and they find out it's justified, giving presents, and like who's one-upping the presents, and I thought we're doing this, and no one's communicating. It's kind of toxic. I'm like, and I find myself really into that story until they get in the car and they're leaving, and I'm reminded, oh yeah, hey, this is the Evil Dead movie. And I was like, it took me back to 100 years ago when I was seeing Dusk Till Dawn on a much smaller scale. And I'm like, oh, I'm into this crime movie. And then all of a sudden, bam, it's a vampire movie. And I'm like, oh, I kind of wanted to watch it. Oh, I love this too. But I kind of I was into the crime movie. And here I'm kind of going, oh, I was kind of into this couples drama kind of thing where it was going to get really ugly and, kind of like an angry morality tale. And then it got into like the power tools. So I was so happy that like it was a palate cleanser, and it was just the dynamic of the toxic family and the narcissist family, and just the mother having certain kind of things, and there's parallels to everyone's life, not just mine, not my personal, because my family's perfect. But I'm watching it kind of going, oh, this is saying something, and it's not being preachy. It was still Evil Dead. It was absolutely, we're gonna have deadites. we're going to have the book, we're going to have all the pieces you have to have of the tropes. But it was such a nice, it was just fun. It's weird saying it's a fun movie when you've got people losing like, family members, and there's people that are lost and all this kind of high stakes stuff. But it was glorious,
Yeah, for sure. And this movie, out of the whole franchise, I think is the one that takes death most seriously. Like the characters get to actually kind of feel the impact of losing a loved one. And I love that the kind of the tropes, the themes of the last three movies, the remake, the big theme would be like addiction, the Rise is more about like sisterhood and family. And this is like an anti-family movie. Like it's about like individualism and not locking yourself. Like the big line of the movie is, without my family, I'm nothing. And I think this movie is like, obviously going against that, like the themes of it. And I think it does it really well, but it also like leads to it being a very kind of, as much as it is silly, and there's a lot of, this is a very funny movie. Like a lot of like laugh out loud moments especially with the editing.
If you're twisted, it's very funny. Yeah. And which means it's very funny to book.
But it's also like a very, I think in the whole franchise, this is the movie that's like actually trying to say something. And it does it in a really well, like it does a great job of saying it. And I love our main character. I guess we'll do a little non-spoiler synopsis. It's essentially just, as we were saying earlier, it starts with a couple that clearly they just don't like each other. Like, oh my Lord, what a miserable relationship. But yeah, and they end up getting into a fight. This couple, they're married, husband and wife, and they get into a fight. The husband ends up driving away drunk, gets into a car accident when he runs into a deadite, and the deadite possesses him and kills him. And then it jump ahead to his funeral, and we're kind of it's the wife who's not super loved by the in-laws, dealing with the funeral, the aftermath of his death, and deadite shenanigans happen, without giving away too much more. It's your very run of the mill. Once it gets started, it's very just like people getting possessed and thrown around and stuff. I think that's pretty much. It's hard to spoil an Evil Dead movie, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, it's the Evil Dead element being the book and the Deadites, but then for this one, it's like it's almost, because Evil Dead to me is always minus, because again, no Bruce Campbell, no Ash, it doesn't need it. It's its own thing. But it's like location specific. It's been like a cabin in the woods. It's been medieval times, and then the new. I don't know that we call it a trilogy because there's a fourth one coming out next year. But the post Ash ones, the reboots, the relaunch. It's the first one's in a cabin out of respect. The second one's in an apartment building. This next one is in an old house, like a big mansion kind of thing. So it is like location specific kind of thing. This one has that blatant bit of honesty of the first time I haven't seen a horror movie go to a funeral home, with the exception of like some Flanagan stuff where it's set in a funeral home. Or like obviously the Phantasm movies, because again they're set there. Yeah. But having the bit where they're at a funeral with some kind of like, and they're not like villainous, mustachio twirling bad in-laws. They're just like they're hurting and they're going through stuff. Yeah. But having and it's one of those you don't see very often a weak turnout for a funeral. And I've been to some sadly empty funeral homes, and I'm like, that's kind of like the awkwardness and how you feel bad that no one else is there, and then you're trying to do extra stuff, and it really captured that in a very, it made it very real to me, But then again, then Evil Dead, the shenanigans. But I was thinking during this that like in an alternate universe, if the rights didn't come through, this is kind of the first Evil Dead movie where you could take out I never see Deadites as being possessed, but they clearly are. It's just one of those things where it's Evil Dead. It's not, it's not possession, but they absolutely are. But this one's almost like a vampire movie. Whereas when they're possessed, they retain so much of the person they're inhabiting, and it's so much so that they actually convince one of the living people to take the side of the deadites.
Yeah,
because
I love
they've been told. Oh, it was so because then they go, oh, well, they got this character again. No spoilers. They possessed this character. They deadified him. Deadified him. I can't. They make this person into a deadite. And then he goes, oh no, she's or he is choosing this. That's so much more work. That is so worse than just being, oh, now they possess a person.
Yeah, we definitely have to come back around to that when we get into the spoiler talk.
Yeah,
I thought that
was so good. Yeah. Oh, because that again, it makes you, because usually these are roller coaster rides. These are like Send Help. You enjoy it and you get done. You want to watch it again because it's a roller coaster. You want to go back to it. And it's not, doesn't have meat. Like, we're not talking about, again, like a Mike Flanagan movie where we're going to discuss our feelings about, Midnight Mass.
Yeah.
But it's got a lot in the bones. And then, again, smarter than me and my wife, she pointed out, 'cause I was going through how I was telling her, we're going to talk about a little bit. It's going to be, the first one's the cabin, and then the apartment building, and then this is the house. And my wife goes, well, yeah, if you're, on the surface, but the addiction one is two siblings. The second one is a mother and her children, and then this one is about in a married couple is marriage, and it's about in-laws. So it's family dynamic. It's a sibling, mother, child, and sisters again. But again, it's the mother of the family having to deal with being put upon. And this one is about a woman dealing with her in-laws. So it's three facets of women. And I'm like, yeah, but it's a house. And it's blood, again, I don't see as deep as certain people.
That's I didn't even think about that we have this since the reboot. It has been like female protagonists across the board.
And I love in 2013 because it's like, oh, we have the new Ash, the guy, for 7/8 of the way, and then the last minute they go, kidding.
Yep.
This is her movie. This is Jane Levy's movie. Yeah, and much like in Rise, it's the two sisters back and forth, and in this one, this has got some performances though that I thought. Were just make you want to cry. 'Cause I mean, you've been in situations where you're at a family meeting, everyone's Thanksgiving, and it's like, oh, okay, someone's talking, and it's not politics, but it's politics, or someone's talking about, they wore the wrong shoes. Oh, I can't believe they're wearing that, or they have a tattoo, all this kind of stuff. The judgmental, and it's like, but again, they just lost a family member, so you got to be nice and take it. So,
exactly.
Yeah. Okay, I think we're past the spoilers for this.
Yeah, it's hard to.
This is one. If we're trying to convince you to watch it, it's very funny. It's very, very bloody. But it's that silly kind of bloody. There are some trigger warnings.
Yes.
Which there's a trigger warning for an animal death, sort of, because it's the Evil Dead. Everyone comes back.
Yeah.
At which point, my wife, who hardcore vegan, hardcore animal rights, above people, and she whispers at me after a certain dog or animal death. She goes, "Okay, we're leaving." And idiot than me, I started getting my stuff, and she's like, "No, I'm kidding." Very quietly. So I'm like, because it is a very silly way they do it. It's telegraphed. It's not shocking.
Yeah.
It is a dog that's sitting there, and then a deadite in utero does this thing. And that bothers you, but it is handled. You know right away that it's like you're not worried about a kid getting bitten in Salem's Lot and being a vampire because he's going to be a vampire. You know the dog's going to come back in some way.
Yeah. I was
before too long.
I think that's a good part to start the spoiler discussion. So
and I wanted to say that. So if that is a no-go before going to spoilers, if you don't want to see that at all, then don't see it.
Yeah.
But if you can know that the puppet gets messed up, the dog puppet gets messed up, if you're still on board, the audience I saw it in really dug the scares, but I was, again, my row, me, my wife, my in-laws, oddly enough, were the only people laughing in the whole time. So that's just how we are.
Sure.
11 o'clock on a Saturday, it was like, yeah, that's just us. Is
Fair enough.
But as far as spoilers go, if you're not thrown off, go see it and come on back.
Yep. Yeah. That's a good thing to point out because. So from here on out, spoiler discussion. Just go watch it. It's good. You're gonna have a good time. If you like the franchise, you'll have a good time.
Yeah.
But yeah, that dog death was a huge turnoff for me at first because it felt so. Like you said, it's very silly. It's very just like it's telegraphed. You see it coming, and then it's violent. And And it just felt to me in the moment, I was like I get it. We're trying to like be upsetting and all that. And I was so turned off by it. But then the dog comes back.
Yeah.
And I was immediately like, this is the coolest shit I've ever seen in my life.
Well, my thought was they haven't done this before. We haven't seen a deadited. We haven't seen a possessed dog.
Yeah.
Not since like the Resident Evil games and the movies. So I thought this is kind of a neat a nod to Resident Evil, which is always kind of a fun little thing.
Yeah.
And the death isn't it's not done in a sad way. It is very much what's going to happen.
Yeah, it's very violent and like
but it's a close up of like a very furry and it's not Old Yeller. You're not sad, and I'm the first person we in our personal life, it's a no go. I've never seen all of Old Yeller. I know what happens. I still think the end of Cujo, they could have saved the dog. That's just not my brain. Yeah. And why they killed the shark in Jaws, and it didn't bug me. And my wife's fine with it, but when the dog comes back an hour later, I'm like, well, bring more of him. Where's more of and of course the dog's name is Max, so I remember the dog's name.
Oh yeah.
And it didn't bug me, and I was curious why they did it, because it's almost got to be someone probably said don't do this. And I've been reading a lot of stuff that they're turned off by. They didn't know why it had to be there, so I don't mind warning people about it.
Yeah, for sure.
Because it's not gratuitous, but it's not part of the. It doesn't make any sense. Except the fact they wanted to have him come back and have the possessed dog. In that case, it's kind of triumphant, and I kind of dig it.
I agree. I at the end of the day, I am happy like the arc that whole situation takes. But in the moment, I was very turned off. So if you find yourself turned off by that as well in the moment, just give it a second. If you're still listening to this without seeing the movie, because I was also very turned off. And like you said, it's not done in a way where you're thinking like, oh, it's so sad that this dog got killed. It's done in a way it's like, oh my God, this dude is crazy. He's just completely lost it. He's completely unhinged. And they don't linger on the dog. I mean, there's like one shot of it dead. You see a lot more of it as a deadite dog than anything else. So yeah. So and I think that's one of the many kind of places where this movie earns a lot of respect from me, is like, you got to let it cook, you gotta let it burn. Thank you. Cause there's a couple of moments in this movie where I was just like, okay, but then there's a payoff later and it's like, oh, okay. I'm into it.
There's a couple other things. They have the grandmother character.
Love her. Polly, I think her name was
Polly. Yeah, and she's Maud Davey. Looking at her name right now, and they play her off. She is dementia. She's in the house, obviously, and she's missing her at the funeral. She doesn't understand that her grandson's passed. Mm-hmm. And she's missing a leg. She's like a prosthetic. She's in a wheelchair, and the house has got like the chair from Gremlins, which is what it's called. Yeah. That goes up down the stairs. And they play off a couple times. Again, we're past spoiler warnings. They play off a couple times where she is not like the butt of the joke, but she says certain things that are kind of funny.
She's the comic relief.
Comic relief, because she puts the button on scenes, and it's because she doesn't remember the situation. And it's almost like the fact that she has like dementia isn't the joke, but it's why she says it, so it relieves the pressure. So the next scene, but much like the dog later on, when she gets to come around her scene, she's a badass, and she's doing some gnarly shit. And it's so great that she gets to be, oh, you're going to laugh at me? Guess what? I'm ripping off your fucking throat. I'm going to go through this. And I thought she was so good playing like the little kind of lost, kind of like, afraid because of Alzheimer's. And then at the end, when she's like,
racism in there,
a little bit of, the oh, you're stealing my stuff. Okay. I'm grabbing onto it. And that's because then it becomes a point where you kind of want her to get her comeuppance, but then it's an Evil Dead movie. So she's going to come by at the end, and she's just a masterclass. But the whole cast in this one is so good.
Yeah. Everybody plays their part perfectly. And I think, it's an Evil Dead movie. It's not written super realistically. Everyone, they're not cartoon characters, but everyone is, they have a theme that kind of is like in the forefront,
every single dynamic could have been a drama. I mean, nothing that you would go out and talk, because like it could have been, they all have a backstory. They're all going someplace. And it's one of those things where if the Evil Dead didn't happen, if something happened early on in the movie, like the guy just didn't drive the car drunk and hit the deadite, like he lost his keys or whatever the hell, they would have a rough day, and you would still watch the movie. But it is there's so much going on, and there's good little reveals. There's things like, why is that person so mad? And then you're like, oh, why are they mad? And I'm like, idiot, it's a good movie. They're gonna tell us. You're gonna find out later on.
Yeah.
This is not Evil Dead the musical where you have to figure out who's playing who. One thing it's missing is a song. I would have appreciated that. But it's just, I want the house. I want, like all Evil Deads. I wanted the apartment in Rise. I wanted the cabin from 2013. I want this house for this one. It doesn't matter how bad the crap is in it. There's a couple little things. I don't want to call them complaints because I dug this thing so much. There's little twists they do that almost makes me kind of go, if this movie wasn't Evil Dead, and if it was just the guy, I forgot his guy's, he's the French guy that directed it and wrote it.
Very French.
Sébastien, very Sébastien Vanicek, I believe is how it's pronounced. And he did Infested, was on Netflix. It's on Shudder now, about spiders, and it's in France. I really like that too because it's the same thing. It's got a lot of characters doing stuff I would watch no matter what. But in here, he added a couple nods where I'm going, if this wasn't Evil Dead, I would have watched it as a vampire movie. As a possession movie, you would have had to lose, like the book wouldn't be there, and it's fun how the book they go into the background of the characters of the archaeologist, paleontologist.
It's like the circle of what was it? I can't remember what they call it. The little cult.
Oh, it was the Wise Men or something.
Yeah, that's like the Wise Men. Yeah. That's
they go into the guys that have read the Necronomicon and recorded it, so they have more of that. So it's a hardcore Evil Dead movie. But if they lost the rights to it, this would have been a great vampire movie where they just, a vampire stopped the guy in the car, comes into the house, and you got to find like the
stake,
Kandorian dagger, but a stake. It could have been a stake. And I like how the knife that kills is just because it has the word Kandor, so Kandorian, just a knife that has it written on the side like a magic marker.
Yeah.
But
I also love the fake out with that knife. They had the one that looked like the original one
from yeah.
That was cool.
Chicken bone thing. There's so much in here, and the little things that deviates, like bits like the dagger isn't the same dagger, and then the vivisection having to tear them apart. It didn't bug me at all. I mean, I'm a hardcore Evil Dead fan.
Same.
The original trilogy, so I'm not sitting. I don't understand what people are mad about. Outside of it, I was wondering, was it just the dog thing? And I'm like, that's enough to turn you off. That's fine. I don't like people talking about stuttering and things, but people talking about the other changes they made to like the post credit scene. They're mad about that. I'm going, I don't understand what you're mad about. I'm literally confused because again, we're past spoilers. I love the post credit scene. Yeah, they bring back a character from Evil Dead Rise. Yeah. And again, are they mad because she was vivisected and she was done and they brought her back? I'm like, who gives a we're worried about. I don't get it.
So Becky and I, full disclosure, this was Becky didn't love this movie. This one was a little too intense, I think, for her. She wasn't super into it. Afterwards, she just kind of looked at me, and I had a giant grin on my face, and she was just kind of like, I think I'm good on Evil Dead for a little bit, which is completely fair.
She's got a year, yeah,
right. And a part of it we were talking about as we were leaving the theater, because she was also not like annoyed or she was just confused. She was like, how are they going to explain that she's back after what happened to her at the end of Rise? And I was like, I really feel like at this point, this franchise, you really can't get into the nitty gritty with the rules of how everything works. Like, deadites are just demons that can make shit happen. Like, so is she back in a physical form? I don't know. She appeared in a mirror and then she magically appeared behind the girl. But I also don't care because I love that actress playing that character so much. And
she loves doing it. Every time I hear her talking, she is the biggest fan of that movie and it makes me love it more.
Yeah. So if we come to a point where I get more of her in a movie, I'm 100% down. Like,
yeah.
But I do get it. I think there are people And my wife is one of these people, and I think to an extent I'm one of these people too, where I like a franchise with rules and with continuity that's like, interestingly, where things call back to things, movies prior, and but I don't go into Evil Dead wanting that so much. I'm going into Evil Dead specifically like looking for just the fun deadite shit. Like I don't sit there and think too much about like, oh, what's the rules here? Like how is it able to survive this, but it can't survive that? And why is stabbing it in the cheek gonna like slow it down for a little bit? I don't know. I don't care. I'm here for a good time.
I don't need a science-based Evil Dead movie. And it's a flavor. It's there are plenty of slashers. There are plenty of folk horror that are all undefinable, but it's a flavor. I like that Evil Dead is its own flavor, and it's people that get too close to it, I'm like, hey, back off. That belongs to this franchise. Only time you can have this kind of silliness is in these movies. And I mean, when I was a kid, I didn't question it. It's like in Frankenstein. How did the creature tie the knot that he hung Fritz with? I remember reading that somewhere that someone was mad about that, and I'm like going, he just did. Yeah. There was a knot in it. It just happened. It's like, I don't understand why it's 110 degrees outside. It just is. I'm not going to deny it. So at the end, when Alyssa Sutherland shows back up, which I think is a great scene.
Yeah.
And she's right next to her ashes. They've been there for a while, and maybe she did possess someone else that just looks like her now. Because it's like, if Ash can have a clone in Army of Darkness who gets cut apart and then comes back together because of animation.
From a hand.
Yeah, and he just flies back into pieces, and now he's all messed up.
Yeah.
I don't need to question it. It just is.
Yeah.
It's like every other movie. None of these movies. I don't even mean this, but any franchise that worries about continuity first and what is canon is like, then you're missing the point of making an entertaining movie.
Yeah.
Because when you do try and get too much canon, then you get stuck on these things like Star Trek has to do that all the time. They have to fight. Oh, well, we didn't have this back in the 60s, so we can't do that now. Let's do it anyway. Make a good story. People are going to yell at it, and it's like, just have a gummy, sit back, and watch the stuff. I don't understand at the end of the movie. And it's great because the house they're fighting to get in and out of, it's where they were married at. So that the lady's now fighting what's the remains, and there's a lot of moving pieces. At any point in the movie, if you were to remake it, and any character that you've been following became the main character, I would have been happy.
Sure.
Hunter Doohan, who played Joseph, who's like the brother. Oh, poor guy. Who lives in the house. He's kind of being an Ash because he's Ash. He's the guy who knows where the book is. He's the guy who's going to get the knife. He's kind of going to be the hero. And then he does it. I would have been happy if he was. And if anyone else in the house, there's a point where I thought that the bitchy mother-in-law, I thought was going to come around and have like a moment of and be and I would have been like, not as satisfying.
Yeah.
But I thought maybe she was going to come around and save people. I would have been happy. And then at the end, they get out of the house and they wandered to a construction site, which I don't remember seeing in the first half. And it's cool. Big and loud.
Yeah, I don't know. Is that supposed to be the same construction that was happening outside of the funeral? Is that close?
But that's not. They weren't supposed to. They drove for a while.
Right.
Like the one guy had to wake up at the funeral home and walk to the house. It's supposed to be like a couple days.
Oh yeah, you're right. He had to walk.
So it's close enough to walk, but she just ran. I don't. It doesn't matter.
It's probably a different one. Yeah.
It's just because you don't hear the thumping happening there. It doesn't matter. I don't care. Because they get to it, she's going to fight the bad guy, and then she looks at the wall, and there's a chainsaw, and I'm like going, oh, it's a chainsaw, and she goes right past it for the driver. I'm going, you got me. Okay, I was sitting there, I was waiting for my chainsaw joke because every movie they find a chainsaw for some silly reason. There's a chainsaw in the apartment building. It got me. I was cheering it on. I thought it's so much fun, and I'm not trying to poo-poo on people that didn't like it. I am trying to figure out what I did the same way I didn't catch. The first one is siblings and the addiction, and this one is the family unit and the decay of a marriage. It went over my head. I'm like, am I going to find out later on? Someone's going to go, oh, this is all about it's about apartheid. I'm like, oh, I missed the whole thing. I didn't get it. Oh, I'm wrong. Well, clearly the guy looks like Louis C.K., but I missed it. I just thought it was so much fun, and I would be the first person to not like this because it's not like what I grew up with, and I'm an old, God, in my day we had chainsaws. But also after Obsession, I keep comparing every movie to Obsession I've seen since then, and I'm always like going, well, it's not Obsession, so it's not any good. But this was just like, I'm so happy.
My obsession thought after watching this was I have major newfound, not that I didn't have respect for the movie originally, Obsession, but I have newfound respect for Obsession because I found myself making the same faces throughout this movie as I was making through Obsession. And this was like hardcore gore going on. The other one was just a performance that was really good. But yeah, no, I think this, I was talking to my mom about it because she hasn't seen it yet. But she's very excited, and I think is this the highest rated on Rotten Tomatoes? I think so, yeah, out of the newer ones too. But it is a movie.
It was for a few minutes at least,
yeah. But it's just oddly a movie that I don't know. I watch it and I recognize how good it is, and I did enjoy it. I had fun watching it, but it feels like this, out of like the three, this would be the one I revisit last. Obviously it's most recent, so that's probably feeds into it a little bit. But what do you think that it like? Do you have that kind of same feeling about it, where it's like it's not as it's like it was fun, but it's just like I don't know. There's something about it just didn't fully click with me, and wanting to like rewatch it again, or
I don't know. I mean, after 2013, I remember thinking I could watch this again right away. And then after Rise, I think it was like the next week I joked about it, wanting to see it again, cause like stuff I'd missed. Like there's things I didn't see in the parking garage kind of thing. This one, I was like, all I wanted to see again was like the post-credit scene. I wanted to see the funeral home thing. For some reason, I wanted to watch that again, but it wasn't like I didn't want to watch it again. I think it just absolutely scratched that itch.
Yeah.
And it's also,
I wonder if part of it for me is like that because Rise is so kind of loosey-goosey with it. It does feel like there was a lot in Rise that I missed and wanted to rewatch, where this is just such a solid movie. Like it's just so everything is just so smoothed out and so and not in a bad way at all, obviously. It's a good movie and not in a bad way. But yeah,
to all those crappy good movies that are just so good they're bad. Yeah.
I think the moment that it really for me, it was like, oh shit, this is like on another level of storytelling, because we follow, what's the name? Is it Allison? Is that her name? The main character
in this one?
Yeah.
Alice.
Yeah. So we follow her. She's the protagonist, right? We follow her through the whole story, and she has nothing to do with the Evil Deadness of the movie. Like everything that happened Evil Dead wise would have happened if she existed or didn't. But she was still the protagonist, and she's kind of the lens that we watch the movie through. And I think they do this really interesting thing when the chaos comes to a peak. We have the mom who has been seduced by the deadites, isn't fully a deadite herself yet, but she's trying to convince her son to help the deadites because like they just want the dagger and then they'll leave, which obviously that I highly doubt that was the case. But it comes into this moment where the dadite is getting violent with the kid, and
write that down, the dadite.
And the mom is like, oh, you said you weren't going to hurt him. And a giant fight ensues, but we don't watch it. It just happens in the background as we follow the main character kind of crawling through the scene. And it really gets this point across of like, we're not supposed to be here. She's not supposed to be here. This movie isn't about her, or that part of the movie isn't her. Like she's just dealing with it because she's here. And I just thought that was really fascinating. That was like an interesting thing for them to do. Because
I think you just nailed the entire movie. The whole point of it, it is the in-laws, it's like you're an outsider,
Yeah, exactly.
and it's just like this is a fight that's been going on
It's
for
just
their whole lives, and I'm just here to pay my
catch
respects.
strays.
Like I'm at a well, I'm yeah, exactly. But I've been at Thanksgivings where there's a fight going on. I have to go, hey, why are they mad? Oh, because 15 years ago that guy lost money on a game, and or whatever it was. So that scene, and the scene you're talking about, which is a beautiful scene,
Mhm.
that was they slipped that out like 6 months ago as like a teaser.
Oh, really?
So you don't know who it is, you don't know what's happening, and I'd forgotten about it until I'm watching. Going, oh, this is the scene where she's crawling through, and then people getting yanked and they're getting pulled.
Yeah.
And that's someone at Thanksgiving,
100%.
just going. I just want some potatoes. Can I get potatoes? It's like she's the vegan at Thanksgiving. Everyone else is throwing around fighting over turkey leg, and she's like, I just need I can have corn. There's butter on it.
Yeah.
I'm just gonna get a bun, and I'm gonna be over here. And when you guys are okay, I'm gonna watch the parade. And she's just dodging all this anger, and I never even thought about that. You could pull her out of this giant fight. So she is the outside. Yes. Again, I'm the dumbest person in the room. But that's exactly what it is. She is. And she survives because she's not petty enough to be in these fights have gone back.
Yeah. Yeah.
How
the,
long,
the,
you know?
the family trauma is just kind of like happening, and she just has to endure it because it's like, well, it's not even my family. It's
Yeah,
not,
yeah.
you know, it's
And
not my-
after the guy's passed, it's totally not the family anymore.
exactly. Yeah.
You're gonna stay in the business, right? No,
No, I want nothing to do with
you're gonna stay here and run and be part of the family. I'm from France. I'm gonna go to France. You don't want to stay here with all this fucking love,
Right.
You know? Yeah.
You bitch.
Yeah,
Yeah, I love that. I think that's like I think the two big themes that really came through for me was that just like the having to deal with family trauma that's not even yours, like and then also just I think the mother character is such a fascinating character. We kind of touched on this a little bit in the spoiler free portion, and I want to kind of dive into it now, like because her arc was so interesting. She's the one that delivers the line, "Without my family, I'm nothing." And you see her lose her family one by one, and then completely lose her mind to the point where my read on that scene where the grandmother finally gets possessed, and she's like, listen, we can still, like, you haven't lost anything. We're still here. You can still, you know, let the dad in, and we can still be a family. And I when I'm watching it originally, I'm like, oh, okay, she's possessed now. I figured once, you know, they start making out, she's probably been deadited, but she's not. She's just lost it. I think her reality in that situation was like, okay, I can continue to survive and recognize that I've lost, like, myself. Like, I literally identify as my family, and my family's now gone. I can either cope with that, or I can just live in this reality where, in actuality, everything's fine. We're still here. Everything's still here. Oh, you just want this dagger, and then everything will be back to normal? Sure, let's do it. And she gives into that, like, that temptation of like just an easier existence, I guess, even though it's complete fabrication. And I just
the denial, the living denial is what
Exactly.
family trauma totally.
Yeah, I just thought that was really interestingly done. In a way that we don't really see because, you know, I think in every Evil Dead piece of media, there's that moment where it's just like, oh wait, no, I'm all better, help me, like, but you usually either a character starts to fall for it and then immediately gets their comeuppance, or
The ruse is pulled away right away.
exactly.
Yeah.
But in this one, it really, like, it works. The Deadites convince somebody to help them without possessing them, and it's really interesting to see that. And I think, in the perspective of the Deadites, it's like, oh, this is like the easiest seduction ever. Like, this woman is broken. We have broken her beyond repair. So now let's just use her. Yeah, I thought it was really well done.
See, and now I've gone from being like, oh, it's good. I want to watch it again now. I want to watch it again for all these layers I've been going, oh, what are they trying to say? Because the entire funeral home scene, and then they go to the crematorium, right? That's kind of funny, and it's kind of disrespectful to some people. But I'm like, oh, are they making a statement about the industry, or is it? But I'm like, I'm thinking I'm looking too shallow. there's got to be more to this. It's almost like being in church and not understand when you go to a family thing, and the family you're with, and they all have either they pray or you don't pray, but you're not used to that, and having to sit there and kind of fake it. Yeah, I want to go through this again now and watch for that instead of the roller coaster ride. I want to see what they're trying to say with it. There's a bit in there when Alice she gets to she's coming to the funeral, she's wearing sneakers, and then the mother-in-law, of course, goes. Like she doesn't say it, but she looks at how she's dressed, and she's like late, and it's like, no, I have clothes here, but I have dress shoes, but they suck, So then they make a point out of, and it's not a big deal, but she's wearing fancy shoes, and you see that her ankles are bleeding a little bit, not gory, it's not gratuitous. It's just that the shoes are uncomfortable.
It's also I've had that exact situation, and seeing that was painful.
Yeah.
I was like, oh, oof, that sucks. I hate that.
but she's trying to do this, and she's trying to fit in, and it's causing her physical pain, and it doesn't matter what she's doing. And then the dinner scene before the dog stuff, it's just the talk and like, let's talk about this later. No, right now. Why not right now? And it's like, oh, you're one the confrontation. You want to be right. You want to be able to have this be said.
Well, and she wants the backup too, because she even says like, no, let's discuss this now while everybody's here.
Yeah,
it's like, oh, let me, because I need my family. I need the whole.
This is what I need. Yeah, exactly. I don't care what you need. This is what I need. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, jeez. There's also the bit with there's the one visual coming to me, and this is what I'm actually asking you what you think of it. The bit where the dad. Well, I keep hearing about his name getting thrown around. They want him to play the new Freddy Krueger, and I'm like. He's just scary. I want a guy who's funny, scary. This guy's just he's upsetting. I kind of want,
I think it would be like a remake again.
They're doing it like right now. The fan casting's popping up, so I'm kind of happy he's in the list. I want Richard Brake, but he has the gun, and there's bits about the gun, and it's a joke that it makes Joe feel like a man who has a gun. Tough like his dad. So the dad has the gun. He's outside, and it's like I've never seen it before where he's shoots himself in the head.
Yeah.
And of course he's a deadite, so he doesn't kill him. And the top of his head comes off, and he looks back, and it's this beautiful bald head, like what it's supposed to be, and puts the gun in his mouth and fires, and then like the cheeks light up from the inside.
Yeah.
And I'm like, that's disgustingly, tragically beautiful shot, right?
Yeah.
The whole thing is beautiful. The whole movie, top to bottom, is a beautifully shot movie. And that bit, I'm going, is that trying to say something? I've never seen it before, so the effects guy, let's have the inside of his mouth light up like this. It's probably been done before, but I've never seen it. But is it saying something about having to watch someone hurt themselves, like in a bad marriage? Is it watching someone, not even like self-harm, but I mean like in a bad situation that you can't help? He's determined to hurt himself. You have to leave, or is it just that it looks cool and we're showing that he's already taken over? Because I was taking it as being it looks cool and it's very scary, but now I'm like, after you're talking about the in-law stuff, the outside, is it trying to make a statement about you trying to help? You're there to help. At what point do you get out? At what point do you learn from say no evil and get out?
Yeah.
Or take from get out and get out.
Right. That's an interesting take, because definitely when I was watching it, I was just like, this looks cool as hell.
Oh, that's what I thought. Like, it all looks so cool. I'm going. It's the Dawn of the Dead remake. Zack Snyder has that little of the dead kind of thing. It has the same kind of like beautiful shots, but it's not saying anything. It's not like Romero's where it's got a statement. This one just feels like it's trying to say something.
Yeah, no, I think you're right.
And I'm just like, it just looks cool. I'm missing the whole point. And all three of these movies, I'm missing the whole point.
I think there is definitely something there. It is. Yeah, it's cool because. I guess if you're still watching, you haven't seen the movie yet. The scene is essentially he shoots himself, like I think 3 times in the head.
I want to say 3 times. Yeah,
it's like every angle that you could put the gun and that you see someone shooting themselves in a movie, he does it. Because the first one's like through the mouth, and then the second one's side of the head, and then the bottom
underneath.
Yeah, and it's just like it's cutting from him doing this with a gross smile on his face to like his family's reaction to seeing him do it. And them increasingly realizing, because this is at this point you could argue that nothing supernatural had happened yet in their perspective until this moment.
It's intense and it's loud and it's a little bit like, oh, we're all traumatized, but after the first one where he just kind of sits there and does it again. I think they are saying something about watching someone hurt themselves, and then like and being culpable. They should help him But at what point do you can't help unless they want to help themselves, kind of thing.
Right. Well, and even further that point too, it would be incredibly dangerous to help them.
Yeah.
You know, you have to. It's like you're kind of helpless, but also like with the knowledge of like, oh, you know, their self harm can become harm to me if I get too close. Yeah, there's definitely potentially something there. Another thing with the mother that I love is what she's willing to sacrifice morally to hold on to her family, because it's implied at some point that she was aware of her son's abuse towards the wife, and she just pretended not to notice it or ignored it. And it's like, at the end of the day, you know, obviously she knows that what he was doing was wrong.
Yeah.
But is it worth disrupting the family dynamic to address that? Or is it better to just ignore it and hope that the victim can endure? And I think by making that decision directly led to Will's death, because it wasn't addressed, and that situation culminated into him, you know, killing himself on accident by driving drunk. Yeah, there's this. That's why I'm saying that this movie, the other ones obviously have their themes, but this one's really, really saying something, and it puts a lot of effort into it, and I think it does a great job.
See, now I have to go see it again. Not for the cool blood stuff. I want to know, is there a bit with when Susan is talking with Alice, and they talk about how, do you know what your son did? Because again, this is what is the triggers are talking about. With flashbacks, find out that Alice was harmed, was hurt by her husband, like boiling water, and it was a bad burn, and then it was violence, but and they don't. It's not in your face too much. I mean, they're trying to like soft step it so it's not hard to watch and still be a fun movie.
Yeah.
Which now that we're actually talking about it, I get, because it was. I think I was prepared for the dog stuff, so I'm blind-eyed because I'm lucky I don't have to worry about it. You know, my entitled spot as being an old white guy. That statement might have been, oh man. Anyway, but that backstory being, it serves a purpose in the plot to give Alice a reason to be at odds with him, so the movie can be about a marriage which shouldn't be. Mm-hmm. I want to watch it again, to like watch it with better eyes, but I want to know in the scene with the mom and Alice, when Alice is telling the mom that her son was an asshat to me and he was mean to me, and you knew this. If she knew it or not, I want to know that if Susan, the mom, if Edgar, the dad, had been violent with her and had passed that sort of like those traits on to the son. Yeah. Is there a line there? Because it's almost like, then it would say that Susan was culpable, that she should have stopped. But then it becomes like, was she a victim of this? It's almost like there's a line that they pulled out because they didn't want to make it look like Susan was a victim. And then she was the bad guy. And having her be the bad guy, if she was a victim, they wanted to pull that line out so that it wouldn't be like, oh, now we're attacking the victim. But let's let her not know anything.
Yeah, as you're saying that, I'm trying to think of like parallels between Will and the dad. And the one that comes to mind immediately is that the dad is constantly whistling for the dog. Mm-hmm. And at the very beginning of the movie, when Alice is about to go get more drinks, and he's like, hold on a second. He whistles at her, and it bothers her, that mm-hmm. whistling. I wonder if there's like a parallel there with the.
I wonder if that's supposed to be like a seed saying that he was also that the dad is also violent, and then So now I want to watch it again just to show the respect what they're trying to pull off.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah. I don't. Becky's wrong. That's all I'm gonna say. That was
sure to let her know.
That was AI'd in. That didn't actually say that ever, never. No, this is, but that's maybe beyond that. Maybe people are upset that Evil Dead shouldn't be this much story or message to it. Evil Dead should just be. I could see that actually being the thing. People are mad that the movie's not just chainsaws and one-liners. But then again, if people the first one, The Evil Dead, back in 83, 84, it has the tree scene. So it was also triggering, trying to be over the top. So people forget that they just remember Evil Dead 2 and then Army of Darkness. I
I could see
This
that.
is why I love talking with you, sir, because then I actually get my scatter ass brain to figure out with
Yeah.
you like, here, Jason, here's the bread trail.
Something I've noticed about this
Pretty bad.
podcast is I don't know whether or not I loved a movie until after I do an episode on it now. Because once like you said, once I get all my thoughts out and able to bounce it off of you, I'm just like, in actuality, I think I did love that movie. I can't remember what movie it was. This will probably be a couple months back now, but I remember coming in kind of lukewarm on it, and then by the end of it, I was like, "This was a fantastic movie." That happens more often than not, I think. But yeah, no, I could see that argument. The people who are like huge Evil Dead fans being like, "Oh, this movie's trying to say too much" or whatever. But it's hard to make that argument when it's doing it so well, and it is still such an Evil Dead movie. Like you cannot watch this and be like, oh, it's not Evil Dead. It's it just is. I want to talk about some of the funny moments in it because the grandma was so good. She had two incredible moments. My favorite, maybe my favorite moment of the movie is when the son Joseph just got skewered onto the drying rack in the kitchen, and his girlfriend Deadite is about to finish the job, and the grandma from upstairs just yells, "All right, young lady, I know what you're looking for, and I got it for you," because they've made it very clear that they're looking for the dagger at this point. But there's also been a million references to her thinking that this woman is trying to steal from her throughout the movie. So the Deadite makes its way all the way upstairs to confront the grandma, and the grandma just goes, like, with the most like stubborn, like, go fuck yourself face of like, fine, you've got it, I'm gonna finally give you what you want. She just goes, my money's under the mattress. And I laughed so hard because this Deadite is just so unimpressed.
It's a hero by accident. Yeah.
I love the Deadites in this or are kind of dumb and like kind of cartoony sometimes. There's a moment where again with the grandma, they're trying to convince her to open the door, and she's like, oh, is that you? I can't remember the name of the her sister that died, or aunt, or there's some family member that died, and they're like, oh, is that you, whoever it is? And the Deadite goes, yeah, come open the door, it's me. And I love that they just allowed the Deadite to kind of be like real for a second there, like yeah. And then the other great moment is when the grandma is deadited, and she gets locked or like tied up to the chair, and they push the button to like make it go down, and there's like this intense music that's happening, and then it just hard cuts to this wide shot of her just very slowly just being dragged away by this chair with no music at all,
and it's just that's slow,
and she's like, you bitch. It's so funny. Oh my god, this movie is I think Rise is probably funnier, or it has more funny moments at least, but the funny moments in this hit real hard, and I think it's probably because it's contrasted by the dark themes and the kind of intense family stuff. But yeah, that character is fantastic, and then of course she shows up again in the post-credit scene, and I thought for sure we were getting an Ash reveal in that moment. I thought Ash was gonna
it felt like it was gonna be, I thought we were gonna get in the car, it'd be him, but you wouldn't see a face. Like they're gonna hold off in revealing like who's gonna be the new Ash or something like that. But yeah, I was very happy with how it how that pulled off. I think it's also, this is the first one, and I didn't mind it at all, that this is the first time that the Deadites had a point. They wanted something. Normally they just show up and they fuck it. I mean, Army of Darkness, they wanted the book, but it was just also that was an adventure movie. They just wanted they're I think you said it in the Evil Dead the 2 discussion we had. They're just assholes. Yeah, they're just there to screw with the heroes, and they just want to torment them. They don't give a rat's. They don't even need the book. They don't need the Klaatu Verata Nectu. They don't need that. They're just screwing with them. And this is the first time they actually had, like, they needed the knife. They needed the pages. And it's weird. It was almost limiting to have them. It almost gave them too many rules this time, Yeah. But again, if it was a vampire, it'd be like the blade was there to make it the Daywalker sword kind of thing. It didn't bug me in the slightest, you know.
Yeah, yeah.
Just give him a point. So it's nice to have him actually there instead of just being, we're gonna kill you and we're gonna get you in the basement and then we're gonna, you know, swallow your soul, like they're after the souls kind of thing. It was kind of, I like the fact that it was a little bit different for out of 6 movies in a show.
Yeah, it does weirdly make them, in a weird way, this is kind of like the least scary iteration of the Deadites because they have a goal, in my opinion. Because I was thinking, like, if any one of these guys was the one that possessed Ellie in Rise, because Ellie, for the most part, is like the only Deadite for a long time in that movie.
Yeah.
But she's terrifying.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I don't think anybody in this movie would have like that. I don't think it would have worked in that situation. Like none of them are kind of rise to that level of scary. But they are, and we've referenced Resident Evil. This movie is very Resident Evil.
Yeah.
Like the cast of like a family of specifically Resident Evil 7, the game is so much like this movie, where it's like you got the dad who's like this crazy abusive, you know, monster guy, and then the mom's just kind of wacky a little bit, and even like the dinner scene. That dinner scene felt like a it's gonna fit in with the classic horror dinner scenes.
Yeah.
Like it's earned its spot. It's such a good scene. The intensity and the kind of give Hereditary vibes a little bit.
Very much.
With how, with like the depiction of like real family turmoil. And I had a point. I promise I did. I don't anymore.
Show off you and your points.
Yeah, I don't know. It's just I think as far as Evil Dead movies go, I think this is one of the best ones. And the more I talk about it, the more I think I do feel like I do want to watch it again, just to kind of like see all these themes kind of get hammered down and see what other nods I missed along the way.
It's such a unique series.
Yeah.
Where every single one of them you can watch by themselves, and there's no dud, you know, when you actually are going through it. I mean, even if you don't like it, you still have to sit there and go, that's still a good movie. Even if you're not, if you don't like the slapstick, you have to go, Army of Darkness is still a super well done, fun adventure movie. And if you don't like the dark stuff in the woods, the first one, or if you just can't stand the grainy film, you know, that kind of stuff.
Sure.
It's just every single one of the series. If they stop now, you're satisfied. You know, we don't need another one. I want another one. God, please. And I think it's the next year or 2 years with Wrath. But this one has got, I've got to see this one again, just to give it the respect. The bit with the candle, again, I'm on the screen. I've got the page pulled up when she's drinking the candle wax, which is just a great scene, right? Yeah. And it's creepy and it's awesome. But the fact that it's the mom made it, and she used to be an artist who made these kind of things. And she's being dismissive of like, oh, that's my art. Like that means more. It's like, how am I supposed to know that? There's so much, those little bits, those little touches. Such a good movie.
Yeah, I love that scene where they're talking about where she made the candle, and or I guess is it the candelabra? Is that the right way to say that?
Yeah, exactly.
And she's like, oh yeah, I used to be an artist, but then I had to give it up so I could take care of the family. And Alice goes, oh, that's a shame. And she's like, why is that a shame? Like, I love that. Like, she is so blind to the fact that like she has sacrificed her individualism and like who she is as a person and her desires and her dreams and her interests for.
Well, and then from Alice's point of view, she's seeing beyond this lady's mad at me, who's like is this the mother-in-law? Doesn't like me. And the mother-in-law opens up, and she made this, and she gave it up, and then Alice has empathy for her. And she goes, "Oh, we can connect on this. I gave up my dreams too when I moved to America. You know, to do the restaurant thing. She also an artist. Was Alice an artist? Is that I know she had a background that she gave up something. Photographer.
Yep.
Photographer. Yeah, so as an artist. So she was this. Oh, we're both artists, and she's like, "Oh, that's really sad that you did that, trying to have a connection." And the mom just shuts her off and goes,
Mhm.
"It's almost like it's a religious thing." It's like, no, you dumb bitch. I'm not a bad mom. I would happily give up all my art, my silly little art, to raise my wonderful kids that love me and never been call enough.
It's almost as if she like almost let the mask slip a little bit, where it's
Right,
like
right.
it's like, oh, I'm a person underneath being a mom, and when Alice tries to connect with that person, that she just fixes it and just like, oh no,
No, yeah.
actually, I'm just a mother. That's what I do.
Yeah.
This is my family.
That's the greatest calling ever. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's I love talking to you because now I'm like, God, evil. This is a phrase that no one's going to appreciate besides you and me right now, and no one around here. Evil Dead Burns is deep. Oh, there's some deep stuff in there. And I'm like,
Layers.
there's some layers. There's a head like an onion.
Yeah.
Oh, I just yeah. And now it's like it's the same level of screw. I would not do this to. We just watched I Spit in Your Grave, a movie that like I saw way too young, and I appreciate now as a feminist film. Joe Bob dissected it. I'm going that hold up as far as being a anchor of time, but it's also there's not a lot of depth to it. It is very much on the surface. Okay, you did this, and I have the right to do this, so I'm going to do this to your grave.
It's almost like a cathartic that movie.
Oh, absolutely, yeah.
It's just about like see something bad happen to somebody and then see them.
And then and no one's gonna blame him. No court's gonna arrest her because that's what should happen. That's what should happen.
Mm-hmm.
But done, But now here we are analyzing Evil Dead Burn. And we're both going, God, this says a lot right now. I want this. Give that guy the next one too.
Yeah. I think at the end of the day, if you dislike, luckily I can't relate to this, but if you dislike your in-laws, you're gonna love this movie because it's.
Yeah, we're not gonna talk anymore about that because I'd much rather just say how Becky was wrong. That's much less dangerous for me to say. There was a comment made in the lobby of me and a brother-in-law saying, "It's still better than ours," Yeah, we're gonna. That's a test to see. I'll know who actually watches these episodes when I get blocked or. It's making the cut because I guarantee they're not watching this.
That's probably for the best.
Yeah, Dead by Dawn. Swallow your soul. If it was real. Anyway.
Yeah. So recommendations. Who'd you recommend this to?
Anyone who likes the new films. I think even the next one coming up, Evil Dead Wrath. I don't know if it's this or next year or the year after that. I know it's a prequel to the original film.
Oh, really? I didn't know that.
Well, you should. There's more on the internet but porn.
I don't know what it is about Evil Dead, but like I'd like to go into those movies as like completely blind as possible.
My thing is I always forget the title until after I see it. I kept saying Evil Dead Rises, and I would get confused. And it Burn or the next one's called Wrath, and I could never remember which one's which. So when I would type it in to try and see the showtimes, I would type in Evil Dead Wrath, and it goes 2028. I'm like going, well, I'm not that early to this, but I keep bringing up stuff. So I know the new one's supposed to be a prequel, and it might be a flashback. They could be teasing us, but
sure.
I think these three films stand kind of alone by themselves. Obviously, Rise and Burn are the same. A couple hours, a couple days, because they kind of go back to back. They're interlocked. Evil 2013 is kind of by itself, but maybe we'll find a wraparound. Maybe the Wrath will be a prequel to that film, not the Bruce Campbell film. I don't know, but I'm saying as a recommendation. If you dug 2013 and Rise, absolutely, this is your cup of tea. 100%. This is the super solid accidental trilogy, kind of like the nerd in me. Trek 2, 3, and 4 are a great trilogy. They're not. There's more to them than that. But these three films, if you don't like campy 2 and 3, you will probably dig 2013. And if people are watching this, they know this. But if someone's asking about if you're going to recommend it to somebody, someone who liked Rise is going to dig Burn, I think.
Yeah, I think so too. And I think also if you watched the remake and Rise and was wanting it to just have a little bit more meat on the bones, then I would also check this one out as well, because although those movies I don't think are shallow by any means, but they definitely their themes are a lot more kind of on the nose and less.
Yeah.
There's less to pick apart. I think this movie has a lot more subtlety with it, especially
Yeah.
with the camera work and the lighting. I didn't mention that earlier. That whenever it showed the abusive flashbacks, it was in this really kind of white and blue lighting, just very quick shots. And then at the very end of the movie, when she finally stabs Deadite Will with the knife, that lighting comes back, and it's really. I almost thought like, oh, did we just do a location change? It looked like they were in their kitchen again, but as the camera kind of pans around, you see that they're still in the construction zone. But this movie, it's very solid filmmaking here. There's a lot of thought went into, and I feel like I've said that about literally every single Evil Dead movie, where it's like, wow, they put a lot of effort and thought into these things, and generally it would be like, oh, the effects or like the camera tricks and things like that. There's also a crazy shot in here that I would love to see behind the scenes footage of, where somebody gets dragged. They're being dragged across the floor, and then the Deadite, as they're backing up, crawling backwards, crawls up the wall and then up the ceiling, and then it zooms out and it shows that she's now like hanging upside down. I want to see the behind the scenes of that. Like, that was crazy.
And it's so disorienting. It's so good. It's so good.
Yeah. It's really cool because the camera flips with her, so she's always, right side up, but the person,
because you think that she's on her back, and then all of a sudden they realize that she's not on your back. Like the pressure you're feeling of someone on your back, pushing down. You're actually upside down, and her fingers are going into your back, holding it. Yeah, it's
crazy.
Where do you think this falls in line with the 2026? I'm not saying ranking things. This feels like it goes right. You haven't seen The Mummy yet, so we'll save that for later. But with like the back rooms and Obsession, I feel like this and Obsession could be a good double feature. There's more to it than just possession stories for both. Very performance based. And they both stand up to not scrutiny, like I'm going to pick it apart, but like deeper discussion.
Yeah.
Both this and Obsession. I think this and Obsession. If you liked Obsession, now the stupid thing to say was recast this with bringing the cast and have Curry Barker come in and make an Evil Dead movie, which would be awesome. It'd be great.
Of course, I'm down.
But it has that same. It's this not the aesthetic. But it takes it very seriously. They're both greatly defined stories, excellently put together, with care, and good performance. I think that'd be a good double feture for someone coming into this.
And it might feel like it'd be heavy-handed based off our discussion, with the themes of domestic violence or domestic abuse or just abusive relationships. But I think while Obsession is just straight up on the face about an abusive relationship, a two-way abusive relationship kind of situation. This one, the abusive relationship stuff is there and it's important to the plot and things, but it's not the sole purpose of this movie.
Right.
It's not. You're not going to get fatigued by it. So I agree. I think that would be a good combo. Those two.
That'd be a good double feature. Yeah.
We should probably wrap it up because we have been we're on hour 7 here. I could go on forever, but and
another thing. So in the comments, this is the one. Again, I usually don't want to have a ranking, but if people have seen this, I would love to hear how they think the new 3, 2013, Rise and Burn. Is that a trilogy, or do you want more of this timeline? To get all nerdy on it, do you want more, or are these 3 stand? And then I'm curious where people. I don't want to rank them because I really do think this is cut from the same cloth. Like they should be, they build. They don't. You can take one of them out. Doesn't like I wouldn't want to go from 2013 to Burn. It wouldn't work as far as the story bits, but also I wouldn't want to skip 20. If someone's going to say, where do I start with? I like modern day movies. I don't want to go back to the old stuff. After I like laugh at them. I would have them start with 2013. I wouldn't just have them do Rise and Burn. I want them to do all 3.
I agree completely.
Right.
And I am interested. That's a good question of like, do you want to see, should this franchise continue kind of the way it's going where everything is standalone, or do you want to see it more like the Avengers team up of the Deadites that it kind of is teasing with the most recent one post-credit scene? Because I could go for that. I could totally have them do one prequel and then have
Oh yeah, I could totally do that. Have
Yeah.
all the survivors come back, just and then yeah.
Sure. Yeah, I'm kind of in both camps where it's like I could keep going with these standalone ones,
Mhm.
as long as they just keep them interesting and have a different little angle to come at, or I could also take I could take this all leading into one big mashup movie where Ash shows up at the end and whatever. I'm down for whatever at this point.
Yeah.
I'm just along for the ride, and it's been a
I'm there right next to him, man, right there.
crazy ride. All right. Well, if you want to let us know your opinions about any of the things we've talked about or any future discussions we should be having here, you can hit us up at TDMMVI pod at all of your social media. They're down below. Or you can email us directly at tdmmvipod@gmail.com. Yeah, let us know where you want to see the future of this franchise go.
Mhm.
And yeah, until next time, which we are not 100% on what we're going to be doing. So it's going to be a little bit of a mystery. It's even a mystery for us. But we will be here and we'll be talking about a scary movie, we promise. But until then, I'm Jesse Spitzer.
And I'm Jerry Lees.
And this has been The Devil Made Me View It. Thanks for watching.
All right. Thanks, guys.